If you're looking for the best screen recording software for a high quality recording and a bunch of extra helpful features built in to enhance your video as well, then I found it for you. Today we're going to be looking at FocuSee, which has even been used by the likes of Elon Musk on his Twitter post from a few weeks ago where he was doing his Grok tutorial video. So here is the program. I'm using it on my MacBook currently because you can use it across Mac and Windows. And I will leave a link at the top of the description and as a pinned comment for you if you want to find this to follow along. And there'll be a code there for you to try it out with as well. FocuSee has multiple options to record your screen with. And beyond your recording, your clip will then be sent directly into their automated editing bay after it, so you can quickly and easily add a variety of other features on top of your clip as well. They have features like spotlighting, cursor tracking, zooming, aspect ratio changes or cropping if needed, and a whole bunch of other features too, so it's perfect for tutorial or work-based projects, but also if you're a content creator like I am, I use it for a lot of my videos and you can too. My personal favorite thing about it is screen recording when you're trying to capture something like I do in a lot of my stream tutorials. It can just be laborious in the editing process because I manually have to overlay PNGs and zoom in using the keyframes and zoom out using the keyframes, and it takes a lot of time, whereas this takes all of that legwork away for you. Now once you've downloaded and launched it, you will see this. You'll be given the option to choose one of these 3 different recording modes, so you can choose full screen here and you'll see that there'll be a dotted line around your entire screen which captures an entire monitor for you. You can choose window, which is good for doing a Chrome tab or a specific program that you're doing where you don't want it to record other things that pop up on your screen, but it records that specifically. Or my favorite is in the middle here, there is the custom option where you can simply drag and click a box to record the exact and precise parts of your screen that you need, which is what I use a lot when I'm doing my tutorial videos. Once you're ready to record though, you'll see the little helpful panel at the bottom, and that allows you to choose a camera. So if you want a talking head like this in the clip that I filmed earlier, which you can of course move around and adjust as well, and there's shape and frame changes later, then you can. And you can also choose next to that the microphone that you want to use if you plan to voice over the clip whilst it's recording. And then finally, you'll also see the system audio option there. So if there's any audio to be captured in your recording, let's say you're filming a song or a video or something that has audio coming through, it'll grab that for you as well. And of course, if you just want to record your screen, you can just not use those features and just record your screen as your screen. And to start the recording, you simply then click on the record button, of course, and you'll get a brief countdown from 3, and then the recording will start and smoothly work in the background for you, giving you the ability to record what you need, scroll, change tabs, and just create your video how you'd like it. Then once you finish your recording, by clicking it again, you'll be taken to this preview screen with all of your fun options that I'll go through now. But before we get into all of the features that you're seeing down the left-hand side, I want to show you how quickly and easily it is to add zooms to your clip, which is a big selling point for this software. Now the reason this works really well is because FocuSee will be tracking your cursor movement in your clip, so when you then put a zoom in, it will zoom into where your cursor is to follow what you're showing the person in the clip. So all you have to do is find the section that you'd like there to be a zoom, so let's go here for example, and then below the video clip you'll see that you can click here to add a zoom. And you can adjust the positioning by dragging it if it's slightly off, and make the length of it shorter if you'd like it to be a longer or shorter zoom. And it's as simple as that, and then if you play the clip you'll see that it zooms for you, and you can adjust it later too with all of the options that you'll see down the side in a moment. So let's go through those. The first section here is video enhancement, which is the one it will send you to straight away, and this gives you the ability to change the aspect ratio as the first option. So if you're making TikToks or shorts, you can do that. If you're making full videos, you can do that, and there's a few other options as well. You can also choose which zoom option you prefer here if you plan to use zooms. I would recommend clicking both and showing the differences to see which suits you. It gives you a preview. Then you have some adjustment bars for the padding to remove the added background. There's an inset which just gives you kind of an outline on the item on your clip, and then there's roundness, which is of course the roundness of the edges of your recording, and then shadows. So if you want a 3D effect on the recording, sort of like a drop shadow. But then at the bottom here, if you do want a background behind your recording and you've made the padding come in a little bit like I do sometimes, then you can filter through the options at the bottom of the screen there. Now next option down is your cursor settings. So this can make your cursor bigger, it can make it a different style of icon from this list, and you can add click effects too. So when your mouse clicks in the clip, it will add a kind of ripple effect for example, or this highlight effect, any of those to sort of make it more pronounced. And at the bottom here you can also toggle on or off a click sound effect too based on what you prefer. Then after you've sorted out your cursor, you should then like the video by clicking down here, and then subscribe by clicking here for more helpful content like this. And yes, I recorded that clip with FocuSee because, you know, I'm smooth like that. The third option is the motion blur section, which I would personally recommend using if you are also going to be doing content creation like myself. And I say that because it gives you a really cinematic look. So you can probably imagine movie scenes you've seen where a character is using a computer and it looks really silky smooth and it effectively doesn't look like a real computer being used. Like, it looks so much better. And by adding motion blur to your zooms, it'll effectively add that effect for you and give you that feel. So with zooms like this in your clip, it will add a really nice transition for you like that. And you can of course make adjustments as you see fit here with the sliders and the speed options that you see in the list on the left. And if you do want a more natural look, you don't have to use motion blur, you can just toggle this off. But I personally think it just makes it look really smooth and really professional for a clip. So next up is your camera options, and this is just going to be the shape and style style and frame of the camera if you've chosen to show your face in the clip whilst recording it. So as you can see here, there's a few different shapes. You can change the sizing, you can move it, you can flip it if you need to as well, if you prefer how you look mirrored. And there's even frames and filters at the bottom if you want to add a bit of warmth or just some pizzazz to your clips as well. This one here is my typical go-to because it feels natural for the kind of platforms that I talk about, but that is just me, and you can do what feels right for you. Next up in the list, basic audio controls here. So you can see that you can enhance the volume. That speaks for itself. It makes the volume louder. You can mute your clip if needed. So if you did accidentally have audio on and you didn't want it, you can then mute it after the fact. And then you'll see there's noise reduction too, which again reduces noise. A lot of that section is very self-explanatory, so I won't stay on it too long. Following that, you can also add auto-generated video captions here. So if you do want to have subtitles in your clips, which of course adds more accessibility and also is just pretty good for engagement when you're doing stuff like TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, Reels, stuff like that. It's good for retention because people have something to constantly be reading and looking at. Then finally, at the bottom here, you have a watermark option. So if you are making content as a business or a professional, maybe as a pitch or some course content, for example, or even if it is content creation, you like having a watermark to have that professional feel, then you can add an image here, any image you like, and it will give you a professional looking watermark in the corner of your recording like this. And then once you've played with all of these settings and you've got the clip exactly how you like it, at the top here, you can export your recording and you can choose your output settings too. And FocuSee does support all the way up to 4K and a bunch of different frame rates. So have a look through and get the clip exactly how you need it. And then once you've exported it, you get a clip like this. So you get a high quality cinematic smooth looking video. Here's my zooms, for example. You can see my cursor with the highlight tool, my head at the top right, my watermark at the bottom left, and of course the padding and the kind of background that I chose as well. And then that is just about everything covered for you. So that's a full rundown and just showing you briefly how easy it is to grab yourself a clip from recording your screen and then making it look like a very professional, even cinematic thing for content, businesses, professional use, anything at all. So if you want to join myself and other creators that are using this, as well as engineers and other professionals that use FocuSee to create their recordings too for their projects, then as I mentioned, I'll leave the link down below for you and in the pinned comment with a code to use as well. And then you can start using this right now today in your content creation or your other projects too. Here is your last chance to subscribe in this video, and here is another video that you might find helpful on your creation or streaming journey. I hope to see you again on the channel soon. Mwah!